Some of the parents I've been in contact with have had good success so far. They're
Okay.
seeing a shift in their children. They're seeing a shift in their family life, which
All
is
right. That's
beautiful.
fantastic. That is awesome. Yeah, that's perfect.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman.
And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast Show. I am grateful to be with you today. I've got a beautiful guest here. She's someone I've just met not that long ago, and I'm really looking forward to this show. We've had some interesting technical stuff going on, and every time that happens, I always know it's going to be an amazing show. So, and I know that this person, Audrey, who we're going to introduce here in a second, she is for decades been helping people, doing her work, helping with healing and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to learn more about it. I'm actually starting to learn more about her myself today, but there was divine alignment in her timing when she reached out and when we connected. And I get the pureness of her heart, because I'm a tapper inner, and I really think you're going to really enjoy this show where we're talking about how can she double her income, with what she's doing. And you'll get to know her and you'll get to learn about her and see if like maybe her path intersects with yours and how can maybe you double your business, or maybe you want to start working with Audrey, or maybe you're inspired by something that's said today. So uh, buckle yourself in. We're in for a great show. All right, Audrey, it's great to have you here today.
Great to be here today. Thank you.
All right, so let me go ahead and introduce her a little bit more. Audrey, and is it Yagalla? Do I have that correct?
Yagalla.
Yagalla. I'm glad I asked. I meant to ask before we recorded, but that's okay. We're real here. So it's an intuitive educator, healing alchemist, and spiritual guide who blends over 3 decades of experience in early intervention with deep soul work. As a dual certified speech therapist and end of life doula, Audrey holds sacred space at both the beginning and end of life's journey. Through Reiki, oracle sessions, and soul-centered guidance, and more, she helps individuals reconnect to their true north and live with clarity, purpose, and heart. Audrey is passionate about supporting parents of children with autism, guiding healers, and creating sacred conversations around healing from the inside out. So, Audrey, great to meet you, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more about you. Um, so here we are. I've decided that we're going to dive right in this moment to take this to the next level. If people are looking through video, listen, sometimes I just get inspired. I'm like, I should be standing up today. All right, that's again keeping it real here. So let's talk about it now. Tell us about yourself. What got you into doing this awesome work with the Akashic Records and everything?
Oh, my life has been a big journey to back to wholeness. And as we all know, that path, right? So I was born knowing. I was born having memories. I have memories of dreams, just the deep intuition. I turned it off. Had some deep life circumstances that I really needed deep healing for. So that's how I found Reiki. And once I found Reiki, the path just opened to deeper and bigger things. Went from Reiki to shamanism to galactic work, realizing that it's not only the energy, but it's contracts and agreements and it's belief systems. And there's so much that's woven into who we are that sometimes you just need somebody else to help you see and unwind. And that's
Right.
what I like to do. And as far as working with the children, I have always worked with children. I worked with children 3 to 5. I now work with birth to 3. Most of them will be diagnosed with autism, nonverbal. I've come to deep awarenesses that I've been using telepathy through most of my career, if not all of my career. Um, and I found since the telepathy tapes that I'm really here to support the children, but even more than supporting the children, I'm here to support the families who need to learn how to connect on a different communication level with their children.
Mhm.
And that is clearing the way of the old beliefs, of the old programs, of the old systems that aren't working anymore for the new
Mhm.
children coming in.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I have a lot of processes that I can use. I go into the Akashic Records. In the Akashic Records, I do every session is absolutely different based on what the person needs, but typically it's a reconciliation. It's a reconciliation possibly with your soul parts, or it's reconciliation with different energies that you've come in contact with through multiple lifetimes. I've recently had one that I call outsider energies, the oppression, the domination, the power over, have come in to reconcile with another soul because they were just honestly too tired of all of it, which was mind blowing for me. But it made sense at this time on the planet.
Right.
Even those who have been fighting, that war over good and evil, so to
Yeah.
speak, are getting weary.
Right.
They're waving the flag. So um, I do a lot of that, a lot of reconciliation, love, forgiveness within the Akashic, and it's so powerful. And not only through the Akashic, but when I do my work, I do it through the DNA. I do it through all fields. I just do it through germline and plasma and anything else that spirit gives me to work through. Um, I also do a process called the PRISM process, and it's looking at epigenetics
Mhm.
and the imprints of emotion in the epigenetic code, which then turns into the DNA. So we
Right.
go in and we connect with the energies of color. And we look at the timelines and we see where the dull energies are. And we neutralize them, but then we add vibration of the color that we're working with.
Mhm.
And that releases so
So
much.
it's the process of how you help. So that's great. It's very interesting. It sounds like you're natural, first of all. So, you've got natural gifts and abilities that you've always been tapped into. And then you've done a lot of studying too, because you're infinitely curious, obviously. So you've been delving into all types of things. So one of the things, I'm picking up on, and we'll dive into this more and more as we go on. I think it is interesting. Like, thanks, you're giving me all the information I need. But even beyond that, like, I do get this sense, if I may say, early in this episode, like, I get a sense, like, maybe for some people, like, maybe when you're talking to them about your services, um, there could be times, and I'm sure it's not always this way, but where it's a common thing for healers to like really get into their methods and processes. And then people are like, okay, that's cool. But like at some point somewhere in their conscious, they're like, well, why I don't know if that's going to help me. They have that question. And so that is something that's coming up right away as a way to shift your business more, is where you can just, you know, like some of that stuff is cool to share maybe, but just to get right down to it, like, and the reason why that's so effective, and like to just really nail those pieces, like why specifically like these different things really help. I understand you're just telling me all this stuff because like that was
Right.
what you're supposed to do. I get that, but I also feel like this is what you do. So I feel like both are true. So is that true or no?
It is. And my son keeps on telling me, Mom, I still don't know what you do, even though.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And I try to, like, I really do work on scaling it down, but I get so lit up by it.
Right, right. Sure. Well, sure. It's amazing, right? It's so amazing. I get it. So let's talk more about your ideal client, or the clients you serve. So you mentioned you were working on 3 to 5, now birth to 3, and then you're working with the families, the parents. So tell us more about, what type of problems do you actually solve, so to speak, what they think their problem is.
Oh boy, where do I start? So,
What do they believe typically? I mean, I know you've worked with a lot of different people, but what are some of the like the most common ones? The most common ones.
a lot for on the family level, what did I do wrong?
What did I do wrong? Okay,
What did
good.
I do wrong? Um, why can't he communicate with me? What am I doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
How do I fix this?
Mm-hmm.
Is a lot of the things that come up early on. There's a lot of guilt that's felt, and there's a lot when the diagnosis comes, it's a lot of grief,
Yeah,
actually.
right.
So sometimes I can address that within a session professionally, but sometimes I can skirt it in different ways during the communication that we can discuss it later.
Do you work purely with the autism cases, or do you work with a variety of cases?
I work with a variety of cases.
Okay.
I
So
work, and what
they could be having different types of issues. What other types of issues do you work with?
ADHD, ADD, behavior issues.
Mm-hmm.
I've done behavioral work. Um, as far as that's with the children, with the parents and other clients, it runs the gamut. It really
Right.
does. I work with women who are gaining their authority and sovereignty back. I've worked with men who have sleep problems and sleep paralysis
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
issues. I mean,
Right.
there's no one set client that comes to me. They're just looking
Right. People that
for
need help. Yeah, I
what
get
they
it.
need
I
to
get it.
help. Yeah.
I get it. But you do have this specialty or focus on children and working with the parents.
I do. And I actually started offering Reiki 1 classes for the parents of children with autism
Mm-hmm.
to attune them so they can know how to tend to their own body and energy so then they can, focus on their children as well.
That's great.
And some of the parents I've been in contact with have had good success so far. They're
That's
seeing
nice.
a shift in their children, they're seeing a shift in their family life, which is
That's
beautiful.
fantastic. That is awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So have you, this is just the download I'm sort of getting. Have you helped them work with, more with, I'm sure you have, but like, to what level have you helped people, the parents with more of the intuition, more with their own telepathic abilities, things like that?
I have helped a lot. I tend to draw the parents who have those abilities. I've had parents
Yeah,
who
I
say,
bet.
I'm a medium, but I don't want it.
Right, exactly.
Or, you know, my husband sees dead people. And I
Mhm.
think my son does too.
Yeah,
I get a lot of that
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
So I get to navigate that very gingerly within my profession. But then once they get to know each other, they can call me and say, hey, this is what's happening, or wow, they're not sleeping, but I think this is why they're not sleeping. What do you think?
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
even, even to the small extent of I can feel or sense what's going on medically with the child.
Hmm.
Oh, you
Right,
know what? Something's not right. Maybe you should check this out.
right.
So teaching the parents intuitively how to watch the child, not bifocal watch, but just watch carefully and watch the little nuances to see what lights them up and what they don't like by their body postures, by their breathing, by how they're looking different ways. So I
Hmm.
can do that within a professional session, but also other sessions
Hmm. So
energetically.
you're working with people online, 100% or mostly, or is it in person?
So right now I do a lot of professional work doing support instructors. So I go into the homes and work
Yeah.
one-on-one. But I
Okay.
also
Okay.
do online as well, and I do in person as well.
Okay. So you do all of it.
I
Okay.
do, and I have a tachyon chamber in my home.
Hmm. Okay. So what is
So
that? For all of us, all edification for everybody, what is that exactly?
a tachyon chamber is this device. It's a low tech, it looks like low tech. It's a metal circle that has sacred geometry and crystals on it. And then
Hmm.
there's a four-sided pyramid, and you lay in it, and it's connected directly to Holy Source. And the tachyon fields, the energy fields, are particles that are faster than a speed of light.
Hmm.
Science isn't quite sure what it is, but when you go in and you set your intention,
Hmm.
the best thing is you get a sense of relaxation. I have had people go in long distance and they've healed from a traumatic head injury within a week.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Disclaimer, you can't say it heals, but it's a powerful little device that you can lay in and ask the intention. You can get people get messages, beings come through for them with messages. It's just a powerful healing modality.
But it's a physical thing.
It's a physical thing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But I can put people, if people would like to go in it and they can't go to the location,
Mm-hmm.
there's ways that I can put their name in there,
Mm-hmm.
that their
Right.
energetics would be in there.
Right. Cool. That's cool.
Yes.
I like that. So, all right. So basically, you've got a million tools in your tool belt there, and
I
you got a lot
do.
of ways to help. Hey, I can do this, I can do that, I can do all this stuff. So that's fantastic. And then, do most people? Is it all over the place in terms of like how you help people? In terms of they come, you're like, okay, I can help you. Let's get started. Let's meet next Tuesday, and then we just see how it goes, kind of. Or do you like, all right, it's 12 sessions over 6 months, or like, how do you work with people in that regard?
Typically, they call me up and say, "Hey, can I have a session?" Or they book either a
Mm-hmm.
consultation or they look and see what kind of session they would like. If they're not sure, I do a typical 15-minute consultation. We can do a longer consultation if they want, just to see if I'm a good fit for them and they're a good fit for me.
Right,
And what I sense, if I have their permission, I can sense what's coming up and what would need to be addressed and how we can do it. And then we discuss, does that work for you?
right, right, exactly. Okay, okay. So sometimes you might arrange a course of like supporting them up front that they agree to. Is that right? And sometimes you don't.
Usually if it's a consultation, I'll say perhaps, okay, that maybe it would be 3 sessions, 4, and let's see from there. Now I am offering a package now that is 9 sessions with support every other week between the session to see how they're doing, because the work, when you start clearing, you have to balance and recalibrate and then get your footing again. So I am offering that. It's healing the mother wound, healing the father wound, doing some belief work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going into the Akashic Records.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you do have a 9 session package on top of, maybe recommending 3 to 4. So it sounds like you're adaptable to how you present things and what people agree to.
I'm very flexible,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was sensing. That's why I said not as a diss, but just as like how it is. It felt like it was sort of all over the place. That's why I said that up front. Yeah, okay, it could be like this, it could be like that. Like so that I mean that makes it really nice for the client in a way because wow, like I feel so comfortable with you. Like I feel free. I'm not like, all right, it's 10 sessions or else or so you're not like, putting realistic, like come on, like all that stuff. So you're like, I'm here to help if you want it, and that's what it feels like more so, and it's more welcoming that way, and that's your way. So, okay, so that's great. And then what are some of the typical like results that people are seeing from your work when it comes, especially with your specialty, like working with the kids and the parents and everything? Tell us like some of the typical results that people get. Do they find like, wow, oh my God, it's like night and day and that type of thing? Or is it like, well, yeah, we've really seen some real improvement, or give me just a little bit of an idea of the results.
I'll give you a couple different scenarios. So the one person who came to me hasn't slept since college, a good solid night's sleep.
Mm,
Went to multiple people, came to the tachyon, did some other clearing work, and then did a Akashic session, and now he can sleep.
mhm. That's
So,
amazing.
the healing it's not a one size fits all because everybody has their own things that they need to navigate and figure
Yeah,
out. and I
Sure.
guide them to what they need.
Okay. But on working with the families you've worked with, though,
Mhm.
that's what I was wondering
Yes.
about is like what have you seen there as far as results?
Oh my. Um, I have seen for the children, so I've given some of the children attunements with, parental permission, and I have seen the children start taking like a plate of food in when the mom's eating and sitting down with them. And the mom like just is like, what just happened? Like this never happens. Or a child sitting next to me and taking my hand to walk me to the door when it's time for me to leave. Um, Starting to make eye contact a little bit.
Mm.
Um, making nonverbals when they start making a sound. That's huge. So making a sound at a communication attempt. For the families, more of a sense of calm, more of a sense of calm, more of a sense of this isn't so scary because I'm not alone.
Right. Right.
And I help them network with other people too. And that's really important. So knowing that they're not alone, and I tend not to look at the negative, the quote unquote negative side of the autism. I always tend to see the strengths of the child
Yeah.
and point out the strengths like, hey, they're sorting according to color, but not only the blues, they're doing the hues that match. Well, we don't know what that's going to be down the road when they're an adult. That's going to be important for something. So
Hmm.
pointing out the strengths so it's not so grievous.
Right.
So they
Exactly.
have hope.
Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free meditate and make money meditation today.
Hmm. Well, that's great. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, because traditional, if it was like therapy, right, type of therapist model, they'd be like, all right, we don't know how far we'll be able to take this, but you come in for, next 6 months, year or more, see what we can do. But it sounds like with you, it's not necessarily like that. It's more like a few sessions.
Sometimes the kids excel like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it depends on what's going on with the child, what's going on with the
Right.
family situation, all those variables. I just started with a nonverbal 5 weeks ago, and he's starting to label everything by the beginning sound. 5 weeks. That's amazing. So, it's the family working and taking the suggestions and seeing things differently. So I look at it, I'm a guidance system. They're doing the driving and helping and doing everything that they need to do.
Right. So it sounds like, yeah, through all these different things you do, but I also am getting, and you mentioned it earlier, that there's telepathic communication you're doing with the ones with the autism that's helping them, right?
There is. I have had a mom who was expecting, and she was so nervous. She was so nervous that this little one wasn't going to adjust, that he was going to get violent. And he started getting violent before the baby was born.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to her, I said, are you really, and I spoke out loud. I said, are you really nervous about this? I am. And I said, he knows that. And he's not going, he's going to be fine. You're going to see he's going to be fine. Once I said that, he came and sat on my lap and did the whole everything I wanted him to do. And guess what? He's fine with the baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they don't realize I'm doing it, which is beautiful.
Right.
So I just slide it on, in there and say, could it be this? Or
Mm-hmm.
so I can't come out and say I'm telepathically communicating with your child at this
Not with
point.
everybody, but some of them might like
Not
it,
with everybody.
especially if they're already tuned in and are seeing dead people. And stuff. You might be able
You
to see
know
it
what?
more than you realize.
The one little guy, he loved my crystal. I have a Tektite.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought him one. And he has his little grid system going on. And mom came for the Reiki class, and now he's whispering light language into their ears. But I think it took mom to get the attunement for him to be ready to do that,
Right. Yeah.
because there's an energetics within the family unit.
Right. Totally.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Uh, so yeah, it's just so beautiful. Tell us about, like, if someone's hiring you, what do you charge? Like, give us an idea. Like, what's a session cost? If it's a package, what's that like? Give us an idea of what you charge.
Per session, um, let's say it's an oracle, it's $50. For um an Akashic record session, it's 150. For a theta session, it's 150. And theta shifts beliefs on the core genetic history and soul level.
Mm.
So basically they're all under $200, 150, 200, yeah, 150.
Okay.
The package for all the 9 sessions with the 15-minute to half an hour assistance in between, I have it at 2,500.
Okay.
And that can be with the payment plan as well.
Okay.
Because
Yeah. So
I know that some the way the economy is now, and I understand that people will find the money when they need it, but I understand that sometimes they just can't, because
yeah,
they have to
true.
feed their children or
True.
they have to pay
True.
their bills. And
True.
I want to
True.
be accessible, and I will
Right.
do payment plans and barter and things like that.
Right. Well, yeah, as I tune in now and I tune into you, which yeah, it's fun to do with someone like you, is you, I mean, very much are like connected to that so much, through your crown. I'll just put it that way. There's so much that could go on and on, right? But there's all this energy that's pouring in, a lot of powerful, clear light, and uh, and so and then you've got just like that angelic, heart and everything and energy. And you've got the golden touch, like, oh, the miracles are happening here all the time. So for you, money is of course still interesting, but and important, but another level, it's, the thing happens when you're at the way you are. Um, the heart of just serving is much more important. Now, everybody on this show, listening to the show, is probably like, yeah, me too. But like for you, it's just like again, to degrees. Like, all right, you'd rather help than to get paid in a way. Honestly, if we're really, really honest, now maybe you require the payment, but I'm just saying, like, you'd rather help than to be like, well, you can't pay me enough, get out of here. Like that's the type. And some people aren't that way. A lot of people got their business set up. You can't pay it, then it's your problem. You got to figure it out. I'm not saying they say those words. I'm saying that's basically what it comes to, right?
Yes.
And so, like a lot of business coaches in this scenario would say, okay, you need to be more like that. You need to demand, more money and make them expand as infinite beings to do it. And then you're going to be like, no, I don't want to do it. And I know it because I can feel it right away. So no, I'm not, I don't work that way. And so I think it's fun because I think there's room for everything. Like you could keep doing what you're doing. I mean, that's fine. You could do that forever. But I guess I would speak more instead, like, because I'm not trying to steer one way or another. I just want a higher, good for you and for everything. So, what do you get frustrated with the amount you charge at times, or do you feel like, no, I feel really good about that amount all the, or do you sometimes like, man, I probably should be charging more. Look at these results.
I am fine with what I charge, but I would like more clients to come in to do what I do, because it's my passion and I'm really good at it. Don't get me wrong, I love going to the homes and sitting and doing all the
Mm-hmm.
parent coaching and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But part of my authentic self isn't in that, because I still have to have that professional stance of you have to do what's norm to be normal.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
So with a lot of my families, I can say, hey, I do this. Can you try this? Or I'm picking up on this, and I could really truly be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to come into my own authentic self so much that I don't even have to fall under the guise of government, like oh, you can't say that because that's not
Right.
clinical practice.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's up to you, but
I know, right?
but my point is like, yeah, like I'm always an advocate for people to, really just trust themselves and not to get too caught up in all that stuff, because the more you're caught up in it, the more either you get shut down or again, you know how it works. And if your conscience is worried about it, you might actually bring it to you like more times than so just being aware, oh, that idea is out there, but I ain't working with that idea. I'm in my sovereignty, I'm going to do my thing. So the more you can just be open, because that's more what I think we need. Me an advocate of heaven on earth, right? For all, because it's got to go beyond all that. I always say, like for healers, I'm like, just tell. I used to say, I haven't said it recently, but it probably still true. Like just tell me, like any government, any person says you can't do your work, just let me know about it. I'll take care of that situation. I got my ways, right? Because it's not right, that shouldn't be the case. So I think like you got to lean into just like I'm gonna be like that's one of the ways to grow your business. I'm not in the closet anymore. I'm full out. I'm broadcasting who I am, especially in this day and age. You know what? You're going to either attract more people or more people are going to wait. Somebody that I follow about social media guidance, I won't mention the name again today, but I mentioned it before on the show. But I was following him and he's got great things to share. But all of a sudden, he uses a lot of swearing. And then eventually he's like, and then so I say, F you to everybody's listening. And therefore, F you. And I'm like, you know what? Even you got some good stuff to share. I'm done with you. Like, God bless you. I hope the best for you in your healing process, but I don't want to keep listening to this stuff like that. Okay, I don't feel good about it. So, but I was aware of there's going to be X amount of people that are like, that's exactly what I needed. I'm in, right? That whole
Right.
creating polarity kind of thing. And so you may drive some people away, maybe, but it sounds like most of your clients are into this stuff, anyway.
Yes.
So I would double down on being extremely precise or extremely explicit about like who you are, how you help, and how different it is. It's amazingly different. Everybody says, I'm tapped in, I'm a psychic, I'm a this, I'm a that, okay, great. But not too many of them are cocky about being telepathic, for example, for one example. So I'm not saying you're cocky. I'm just saying you're aware of it. You have the gift. It's authentic. It's real, right? So you have that authentic gift, and not too many people are going around saying that. And then if you can utilize that, because there is no other more effective way to communicate with autistic kids, that is a huge selling point. And the right people are really like, that makes so much sense. I'm working with her. So I want you to really put that front and center. I'm going to tell you a bunch of stuff fast because it's just a show here today, but to still give you value and other people value. But like the other thing I would do is, even though you're like, I don't really care about, charging more, I'm good with the prices. You could keep it under, 200, but I might ask you to raise it some. Honestly, 150 to 197, nobody's going to say no now. Like, oh, it's 197, I'm out. Oh my God. No, they'll be fine. So I would just look right there. And we undervalue those increases because that increase, it's not all about just raising price, but that's one thing. And so like that's already like, depending on how you look at it, it's like a 33% increase or 25%, whatever, however you want to calculate it. But so you've got to increase. We're already moving towards double. But and then I think with like getting more, explicit about what you do, honestly, I would love to see you. You could be somebody that might do well with a wing woman or a wing man to help you in your promotion.
Okay.
Like maybe getting on stages, like bigger summits and stuff like that, because it's a unique thing,
Mhm.
but I think it's something that's common enough, like parents that have kids that have problems communicating with, where this could
Mhm.
be like go like gangbusters. How busy do you want to be,
I
Audrey?
want to be busy. I want to help. I mean,
You want to
that's
be really,
truly,
yeah.
yes. I
If
want
you
to
want to
help.
be really busy, then that's the way
Yeah.
to go, is to get on those summits and those bigger platforms where they'll
Okay.
put these packages together that are lower price and everything, and
Mhm.
you'll get in front of a lot of people and help them. And then you'll feel good about it too, because you're like, there are people being helped. That's all I really care about. I actually am making a good amount of money still, right? So I would definitely want to get you hooked up with that. And then the other thing would be, I totally see you as a teacher. So, and I'm sure you've thought about this, you need to duplicate yourself, because as unique as everyone is, you could teach other people to do what you do. Like, are they going to be exactly you? No, they're going to be their
Right.
own version, right? But you could teach telepathic skills. You could teach all the different things you do. Like, you could teach this. And I feel like that is part of your thing, because I heard center and all that, but I don't think it's a physical center necessarily. It might be, but I feel like you can teach people. You're already doing certifications for Reiki and
Mhm.
kind of the attunements and stuff. And so I think that would be natural for you as maybe a little bit longer term plan, not instantly maybe, but build up your base first of all the people you're helping. Then it's going to be like there's so much opportunity. It's like, okay, I need to start certifying people, whatever, get people qualified
Right.
to help others. And so, yeah, I mean, so there you go. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of things we could have got into today, but bang, you're easily going to double your business as long as we got to just follow through on all this stuff. Now, I think like internally, you're
Right.
open. We'll adjust the energetic briefly, and then we're going to talk more about all this. Is the energetic, you're open, but there is something where with the sensitivities of your energy, part of you wants to lay back energetically is what I'm getting. So part of you is like, let's go, go, go. But like as a certain energy hits you a certain way, you're like, wait a minute, what happened? Oh my God. Like, so, and then it's like a startle response. So it's like, okay. And so that concern, like that stop mechanism is sort of like a pressure, a little bit of a pressure on a brake. That's sort of a drag that's going on. And so you may not always be aware that's in play, but it's around. And so that would keep from more visibility, all because man, you're like, man, if people I knew what existed, like all that stuff. And so, but there's fears around opening up the whole thing and starting to share like who you are and what's possible and who everybody else is too, by the way. I mean,
Right.
like, you could help people see so much. But so I guess what I'm saying is there's a concern about um people like, oh, now we know what kind of dark magic you're about, all that stuff from past
Yes.
lives and everything, right? So it's
Right.
just moving through some of that, and then the idea that you are for the light, and that this so to speak, and that the money coming in is here to fund the cause,
Hmm.
not there for greed. It's there to fund the cause and to just provide for you, to make a nice, decent or nice life for you financially.
Right.
But it's not like I need, you're not someone like, I got more money, like, like most healers, but it's extra for you. If I'm having a good time serving, I got what I need. I'm fine. I don't care. You're more like that, right? That's okay. So I shared
Yes.
stuff with you. I'll let you reflect on anything you want to share back to me because I went on for a while.
No, you're spot on about the stop mechanism, because I get these brilliant, brilliant ideas. I write them down, I start, and there's just a stop,
Yeah, yeah,
just a stop. And I'm like, where does it come in from?
yeah.
Where's it coming from? I mean, when you were talking about it, I was coughing. So that's my release.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be looking deeply into dismantling that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because that's because my path is to be of assistance to help everybody, because
Mhm.
eventually we're going to be all telepathic,
Right,
and we already do it to a degree.
right, for sure.
So now's the time. There's no other time but now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, and it does go back to healing yourself and knowing yourself so well that you can discern and trust. Because when you start discerning and trusting, that's when you can connect telepathically and know that, oh, this is indeed the case. This isn't some
Mm-hmm.
random thought that's coming in, that's mine. You can
Mm-hmm.
feel it in your body, you can sense it. That's what I want to keep on going and instilling within the families and
Right,
creating everywhere.
right, right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So
there's so much more. I just think like this niche is the niche get rich stuff, but like in this case, I think it's actually is your springboard. Like that's how I see it. And if it doesn't happen that way, that's fine. But that's just how I see it. Like I see it as a springboard huge.
Mhm.
And especially with the telepathy tapes and all that stuff out there, like, it's really become popular for a reason. It's because it's ready. The time is ripe for it. So rapid action is called for. So yeah, working, so to speak, on, any encumbrances inside yourself, like,
Yes.
honestly, I mean, I'll just say this because it's true. Like, there's a lot of cases with certain mechanisms like that we could see a huge, and you've seen it for your clients, like
Mhm.
one session, like boom, you could see a big shift with stuff like that right away. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I definitely would love to see that for you. So sounds like you're committed to that, and just that's what I get a
Mhm.
feeling of. And then as far as the rest, like what other steps based on just like you listening to your own guidance right now, but also what I said within that, like, do you feel like, okay, that this seems right? Like I'm going to take these next steps. What next steps will you take from what came through today?
The next steps that I will do, I will increase my prices because that's always been a thing with me.
Yeah,
It's like I want to be accessible, but
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Um, and I will look into having a wing man or woman to
Hmm.
help me with things.
Hmm.
And I will look into the summit. I mean, I'm ready to do all of this and share my wisdom. I've had so many, a lot of people have had who are listening had so many life experiences. I think I've lived probably 100 lifetimes in this lifetime alone with all different experiences. So now
Hmm.
it's time to me to share that in a
Hmm.
deeper way, to know that, let people know that they're not alone in their path, no matter what their path is,
Hmm.
no matter what it was, that they can keep on going and that they have the resilience and they can come back to wholeness and sovereignty and they can trust themselves. And when they do that, again, they can communicate with their children or with even other people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And the thing is, with whatever we're helping people with, again, there's always that it's all one, right? We're helping
yes,
ourselves with that. So it's perfect, right? We're helping ourselves, we're helping everybody else that's got those type of things going on specifically. And it's beautiful that way. I mean, we're only here to just allow ourselves to open up to more or whatever, however you want to look at it. Like, well, for us and all that good stuff. So I think that's great. Increase prices. See about getting help for somebody to help. Um, if you have that energetic oomph, like let's go, and they can actually like put things together and set up like the marketing and get you on the platforms that are going to help you to move forward. Like that would be really really helpful for you because I think yours is much more so to do the work than let me figure out how to do a bunch of marketing. I don't think that's your thing, to be honest. I think,
it
your
scares me.
thing, right? You're laughing.
I'm honest. It's like I'm a deer in headlights at that point.
Right, exactly. Well, I don't know. But yeah, you need somebody that can help with that piece or work together with you on it, or even kind of take some of it, kind of take it over even. I mean, so anyway, so yeah, we can talk more about that if we want to offline, like ideas I have about that. But yeah, so those are the things, and um, so I know like if there's people listening right now that are like, wow, I needed to hear that today. Like I needed to learn about Audrey. I needed to learn about what Daniel was sharing to Audrey or whatever, all of it. And so, but somebody might be like, Audrey is like my answered prayer. Like she's somebody I need to at least talk to. I believe you're offering consultations if people want to. Hey, they already know what you charge. I mean, like there's no worries.
No worries
Better
about
listen. Better reach out soon. She's raising her prices. So, all
that.
right. But yeah, if you have if you want to tell them about the consultation that you're offering, and tell them about that now.
Yes, so I typically offer a 15-minute consultation, and it's just to see what's coming up. You give me permission to tap into your energy fields and see what's
Right.
going on.
Right.
Um, See what work needs to be done, whether it's an Akashic Records session, whether it's theta healing, whether it's the
Mhm.
prism sessions with the color,
Mhm.
whether it's a family line issue. We look at
Mhm.
everything that needs to be looked at as much as possible in that short amount of time. So what I'm offering instead of 15 minute is a half an hour. So then we can get down into the more specifics of maybe what beliefs specifically we can work on if that's what we choose, is needed. The reconciliation or the Akashic, what theme is around that would need to be addressed, or what situation is coming up that would need to be addressed. And like I said, everything is different. So some people want to pull skills forward. Some people just want to be done with the baggage of the cycles coming up all the time. Some people just want to have the information. Sometimes they meet with their soul self and integrate. Every session is so different. So we would have that consultation to determine what is needed and if we're a good fit.
Right.
And I say make sure we're a good fit, because not every person is a good fit for every person.
Right. Exactly. Totally. 100%. So if they want to take advantage of that, where would they go? How would they go about taking advantage of a consultation to see if you could help them?
They would just go on audreyyagalla.com under the service page, look at the calendar, and book a session.
Oh, that's easy.
It's so easy. It's so easy.
Yeah. And if you're listening, through audio and you don't see, her spelling, do you want to spell your name for them?
Sure. It's AudreyYagalla.com.
Perfect. All right. If you need the type of help that she delivers, it sounds like she delivers all kind of help for you, period. But especially too for the specialty area, you got nothing to lose. You're suffering tremendously. I've known not a lot of families, but I've known families that wow, it's extremely devastating to be in that situation, not know what to do, and then how it impacts the entire family massively, for the rest of their life, the parents, the other children in the family, everything. So obviously it's not something to be messed around with. It's like, okay, you better get some help because there's a lot more that can be done, but you have to work with, the right people, and Audrey might be an answer for you. So I'm grateful you came on today. And so if people want to check me out, you can go to yoursacredpurpose.com. By the time this airs, probably I'll have a new offering up to help you rock your sacred purpose and to grow your business. And I'll do similar to what you see here, but the whole entire time we're focused on really helping you and getting down to the bottom line. But it'll be a little bit similar to this, and helping you to realize like what can change and how fast it can change, and get the energy starting to shift in that direction, because that's something I'm kind of known for, is activating people's energy, even just by talking to you. Like, this is what's possible. Let's go. It gets everybody all juiced up and ready to go. And sometimes that even's enough to take people to another level alone, right? So, so there'll be an offering up called Rock Your Sacred Purpose Consultation. It'll be different than what I've had up in the past. And so you can check that out at yoursacredpurpose.com.
Okay.
All right. All right. So Audrey, I'm really grateful you've come on today, and it's been spectacular getting to know you. And I'm very much a fan of who you are and how you help people. And I'm really looking forward to continue to connect with you, however that wants to happen. And thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. It's been enjoyable. I appreciate you.
Likewise. Okay, everybody, keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till the next time.
For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.